I think we are likely to use less coal over the next 20 years. And I think we should use less coal. I mean, we have some dirty coal plants that ought to be closed. And the best way to replace them is with nuclear power plants. And they can't be replaced by solar or wind because they only blow or shine at a third of the time. I mean, even the big new plants in Tennessee that we're delighted to have that make polysilicon, which is the material for solar panels on roofs, each of those uses 120 megawatts of power. So if they were dependent on solar power, they wouldn't be there. They're dependent on nuclear or coal. So I think inevitably we'll use less coal. The one exception would be that over this time, I'm very hopeful, as I said earlier, that some scientists will win the Nobel Prize by inventing a commercially viable way to remove carbon from existing coal plants. That would be tremendous for our country and for the world. It would permit the whole world to have low-cost, clean energy, and perhaps that will be a solution. If that is the case, then we'll be using plenty of coal.
So do you believe that there should be clean energy legislation that ensures the emissions reductions that your plan believes it could achieve should come to pass, or not?
The answer is yes, I do. I'm not speaking for the whole Republican caucus because we have different views about that. But I would be in favor of a low carbon fuel standard for fuel, for example. That's 30% of all of the carbon that's produced in the United States. And since we have electric cars and trucks about to be manufactured by almost every manufacturer, I mean, Nissan's going to build them in Tennessee, for example, we can require less carbon in fuel without raising the price of fuel. In fact, I think we could lower the price of fuel. Brookings says, as I mentioned, that we have so much unused electricity at night that we can plug in our cars and trucks at night and not even have to build one new power plant. The difference with coal is that we don't have an alternative to coal. I mean, we don't have a commercially viable way yet to take the carbon out of coal. And we haven't built a new nuclear power plant in 30 years. And while we can build natural gas plants, that's a dangerous thing for us to do because, as we know, the price can go up. It was $14 or $15 just a few years ago, and we use it for so many other things. So I could support limits on carbon on coal plants after we've we built and opened some nuclear power plants and shown that we're going to open more, or we have invented a commercially viable way to recapture carbon from